Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Access. In this module, I want to show you how you can create a basic form. And I'm going to use the table customers that we've been using so far. So let's have a quick look at this. This is just a list of 11 customers. I want to create a form that will input data into this table. So I don't have to come and use this like a spreadsheet. Now what you do is I'll close this down. You just need to have that selected. It's the best way. And then on the Create tab, you've got this area here which says Forms. And the first one is a straightforward form, which will create an automatic form if you like. If I click on that, it just drops it on the screen. Now you have three tabs that appear when you do that. This one, Form, Layout, Design, Arrange, and Format. So what we've got here are these orange boxes. Basically allows you to adjust the layout of this. If I click on one of these, you can resize them as a group because this in fact is a table. You can remove the auto arrange in design view if you don't want that on, you want to adjust them individually. But what you're looking at is the layout view. Now, if I go to the View tab, you've got some other views, which is the Form view. So this is the view that you would end up inputting data to. Also, you've got the label there coming from the table, and this isn't saved at the moment. So I will save this. I'm just going to do Control S, and I'm just going to call that FRM in front of all of this. FRM for Form. It's looking at that table customers. Click OK to that. So how this works is down the bottom, you have got some navigation arrows and then a little asterisk at the end, which is new record. You've also got new record at the top there if you want to add somebody else, which I will do, and I'll just type some information. Remember, this is just an interface to put data into a table or a query. So I'll just call this Steve, pressing my tab key, jobs, tab, company, Able, IT, tab, 1 Black Street, tab, Newcastle, tab, Tyne and Wear. So I'm just pressing the T's there and the N there. Notice how the lookup lists that were done at the table level have come through automatically onto the form, which is great. Saves a bit of time. NE23 2FG and date. Today's date I'll put control semicolon. Date founded. Now I should have tabbed there because I've clicked. It's coming to the middle of this and it will cause me a bit of grief typing. So I'm just going to tab again and put the date in 21st 08 1899. You must tab off that record for that to go into the database, and you can see there that it's come up with a new record. Now if I just go and open the table, there you go, Steve Jobs, Bob Able IT down the bottom there. That's all you've done. You've used the form to put that data in there. And the idea being this is a bit more user friendly. What you can use is the find and replace feature. So at the top here, you've got a find button. If I click on that, it's going to come up with a find box and it's defaulted to the first field. It says their current field, but you can change that to the document. I want to go look for Saxton. Let's have a look at that. And then find next. And then it jumps onto that one. Now, if I come onto this different record, let's go onto a different record. And then click into a different field and do that again. So it's still remembering that name. If I find next, it just jumps back to that record because I've got it in the document. If I had that on the field, it would only use that field and it wouldn't find it. You've also got the replace option there. If you replace that name with something else, or it was spelt incorrectly, you could use this box to replace that. So that's replace. Now, if I go to filter, you've got the same filter features as before. Filter by selection. So if I go to Bob IT, for example, I want to see all the records for Bob IT. I can use filter by selection and pick this option. Now, nothing looks like it's happened there, but if you go down to the navigation arrows at the bottom, you can now see it just says 1 of 2 records. So it has worked, and you can just navigate through those two. There are 2 records there. Then you have to take that filter off. Remember what I said before, toggling just brings back all the records but keeps the filter, toggling between those filters. So you're toggling between the filter being on and off. What you should do is remove it, clear all filters like so. Now you'll have noticed in the advanced filter there you've got filter by form, and this is how this works. So you would select a company from the list. So I'll go for Bob IT again, and whatever else you want, I'll go for Newcastle. I think they're in Newcastle. And then you apply the filter, and then it'll show you those 2 records. Again, the same 2 records, and then you're knocking that filter off by clearing all. And then if I close this form down, I've already saved it. It's asking me to save the design changes, so I will. And then it sits down with the forms. When I open it up again, it's on record number 1. Close that down. So that's the first form that you get in this list. But if I go back to create, you've got form design, you've got a blank form, you've got form wizard, which would allow you to create a form based on a table but use the wizard option. So if I click on that, it just allows you to bring certain fields across, not all the fields. Now you might be thinking, what's the point of that? Well, the point of that is you might not want to see all the fields. It might be part of a series of forms. It might be a subform, and you only need a bit of information. Like you might only need first name, surname, and company. That's all you want to see as a form. So I can just go through this and you can see how it works. I won't be saving this, so I'll leave it as that. So it's now only showing me those 3 fields, and then that could be part of another form, which I'll do in a later video. So that's the wizard stepping you through things like that. If I go back to it and go to create, you've got these navigational forms, which again I'll cover in a later session, and then more forms where you can fill your boots with all of these. So forms are 2 main purposes. 1, as I've shown you, to input data into a table or query. 2, as a navigational form, which is what these ones are about. And I'll go through that on a later session. But that's all I want to talk about on this session, how you can create a basic form like so. So hopefully that was of use. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you on the next one.